First recommendation is if you have to change your axles, this is a good time to do it. Wheel bearings, good time to do it. Brakes, any of that stuff you can do now because you're going to be taking it all apart anyway. So if you're going to be doing this work, make sure that you're thinking ahead, ordering those parts and taking care of them all at once, so you're only doing this job once for all intents and purposes. All right, so I got all the pieces laid out here. I'm going to show you guys how to kind of put this thing together. It's fairly straightforward. One thing that I do recommend is if you have the knuckle out like this, if you had to do what I'm doing here, is definitely replace this control arm, lower control arm as well. Don't wait to get it into the car, simply because it's much tighter than you think when you get in there. So I'm going to go ahead and take this guy off, since it's fairly simple to do that now. And because I am not going to be reusing this, I'm going to go ahead and smack it here. If I were to reuse this, one trick you can do is you can get the nut back on, which I think I talked about this in the past. And you basically put it on to where it's even up at the top, so that way if you hit the side, you're not damaging potentially any threads. Now this one's a little bit different because the threads do not go all the way to the top, but in most bolts they do. So just a good practice to have. I'm not going to reuse this, so I'm not too worried about it. Well, that came out spectacularly. Yeah, so this is what it would look like, and obviously you would have damaged the little Torx headpiece there. So don't do this if you're going to reuse your reuse the arm. I got my new one here. Just going to go ahead and compare, make sure it's the same orientation. Yep. I'm gonna try just zipping this on, see if it'll work. Maybe it might. Try getting it jammed in there just a little bit. Okay. No, it's not working. Okay. Well, it worked. Now, most people ask me, in the comments, what are the torque specs? I don't know. Nice and tight is what I go by. And it always seems to work. All right. Next up is this guy here. For this guy here, well, the first thing that I did was took a wire brush to it, and I am just going to put a little bit of anti-seize on there, just in case I ever have to do this again. Maybe by some miracle it'll come out while it's still in the car. Now the new one, when you go to put it in, is just as, well, not just as tight, but it's pretty darn tight. So what you want to do is, by the way, if I haven't mentioned, these are the only bolts on here in a typical BMW fashion that out of nowhere just decide to use a Torx bit. So you're gonna need a Torx bit. This one is a 50, Torx 50, and make sure you don't use the one that has a hole in it. Use the one that's solid, because you will break the one with the hole if you try to undo these guys. These guys are like baked in there. Go ahead and get both sides started. Remember, there are 2 holes here, right? So you're gonna want to get both sides started evenly. And the plan is to use the bolts to just basically seat this thing in there. Another advantage of having this off the car is you can actually see if it's seating in there evenly. Alright, so when you look, right, looks like it's going in evenly. Same space here as over there. You don't want it to be sitting this way or this way. You want to make sure that you are flush as much as you can be. Just basically press this guy in. Couple of turns for each side. It looks to be going uneven. Guess we'll find out when we bottom out if this thing's not even. We'll have a different problem. Also, while you guys are doing this, one thing to also remember, if you're like me and you didn't take your rotor off, keep in mind you want to make sure that if you get any of this anti-seize or grease or anything on there, you want to wipe it off before you reinstall it back on the car, or wipe it off before you reinstall the brake caliper back on, because bad things can happen if you don't. So it seems to be about a turn a piece, and then they kind of start to go harder until you get the other one seated in. So easy, starts to get hard. Easy, starts to get hard. At least this part of it is much more simpler than getting the old one out. The old one, that was a bear. All right. And there you have it. Go ahead and snug it up. When I get it on the car, I'll get it just a little bit more tighter. The one down here is kind of in a weird spot. Also, one more tip: if you had to take your axle out, now would be a good time to run a brush through it. When you go to put it back in, put a little bit of anti-seize on there, or oil or something, just to slide it back in. When I was doing this, when I was doing the turbos and I had to take all this stuff apart, getting the axles back in was a giant pain in the butt. So there's a free tip for you guys. Everything else looks to be in good condition. Let's go ahead and get this thing back on the car. Okay, now I'm on the other side here, which is the driver's side. And what I plan on doing in order to get these, the lower arm replaced, the plan is I'm going to go ahead and disconnect it here and disconnect it right here, and then I'm just going to pull the whole knuckle assembly off. As you remember last time on the other side, I basically had to take the whole thing off, get it on the bench to get that lower tie rod out, as it was not coming off when it was on the car. So I'm going to go ahead and do that this time as well. Save myself some time. First things first, grabbing a brake caliper, getting it out of the way, securing it up top here, rotor's going to come off. This should be fairly simple here. I got the knuckle assembly off. I got it here on my bench. One of the things you're going to have to do is you're going to have to swap over this little knob that holds or that secures the headlight leveler, I believe it is, as your wheels move and go up and down. I think that's what actually controls it. But nevertheless, this is the only other extra piece on this side that you'll have to swap over. I don't remember that being on the other side. But once that's done, before I put this back in, I'm going to go ahead and heat this guy up and get him out of there first. Put the new one in and then put everything back together. Now I did notice when I was inspecting, maybe down the road I might need a new wheel bearing here, but we'll find out within the next few months or years, because it's leaking a little bit of oil or grease or whatever that is. But when I touch it, trying to move it side to side, or I rotate it, I'm not seeing any play. There's nothing excessive that's occurring there. So that might just be residual oil that I use when I try to get the axle back in, but seems unlikely. I don't know, we'll see. And again, for the wheel speed sensor, I've talked about this hack before, but there's a little washer. That washer you place first, you put your wheel speed sensor, then you put this guy in, and what it does, it spaces the tip away from those ribs on the axle, these guys here. See how they're protruding and maybe bulging a little bit? They tend to damage that sensor. So by doing this, you'll be able to bypass that and not have to get a new axle, hopefully. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this together and see what it looks like. Here's the new lower ball joint in. The old one did not want to come out. I mean, that one was by far the toughest ball joint I've ever had to remove. I heated up probably 4 or 5 times up to 600 degrees, and you know, smacking it, trying to get it to come out. I tried cutting it. Ultimately, what I had to do was use the ball side of the ball peen hammer and just get leverage this way and just smack it. Heat it, smack it, heat it, smack it. After about 20 minutes of working on it, it eventually started to move, and then I used a punch to get it out the rest of the way. Once I was done with that, cleaned it up, heated it up again, and then put the old one in, or I'm sorry, the new one. The new one is not going to go in very easy. It's not supposed to. It's kind of like a interference fit. So put it in halfway and then use the screws to tighten it. Also, if I did not mention, you will need a Torx 50 male bit for that, and I would probably recommend a some kind of impact gun, because it's very tough to work on, because you know, it's kind of weird to grab, unless you undo those under the car, which I didn't feel like undoing them down there, so I paid the price when I got up here. Now, putting everything back together, I'm going to go ahead and put the 2 lower control arms there, and then set this guy back in, and we should be done with the job. One thing you guys want to make sure you do when you are putting this thing on, don't tighten the bolt. Lift the entire assembly up a couple of inches to simulate this thing sitting up, and then tighten it, and then let it go back down. This guy here, the rubber inside there's no way for it to kind of slide in place. Once the bolt grips, excuse me, once the bolt grips, the rubber just sits there, and you stress that bushing out a little bit more. So I lifted this up maybe an inch or two, just to help that out so I don't tear up the rubber in there. Now I want to show you guys what I'm talking about when I say tear up the rubber. If you look, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but the tears in there. So when you grab this and you try to move it or spin it, it really can't. So it kind of buckles and cracks inside and does all sorts of weird things, if you guys can see that. So that's just a little tip to make sure that it lasts a little bit longer. Yeah, this is going fairly easy. This was kind of a pain to put back on, but it always is, especially this setup right here that holds the brake lines and wheel spacer or wheel sensor. Next up, got to put the rotor back on, put the brake caliper back on, the sensors, or just the sensor should I say, and wheel or spacer wheel, and that's it. Well guys, that concludes the work needed here on the BMW. I went ahead and put this back together. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the car down and see if it drives any different. If you like the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.